So what if you're that person and you're listening now, and maybe you don't think you have an issue, and so you're saying, I think everything's okay. I like helping other people, but you have maybe these goals and things that you're not getting to, and you're spinning your wheels on the things that should be priority, and you're wondering, why can't I make any progress on these
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're listening and they're starting to wonder, okay, is this me or is it not me?
Mhm.
So, what are some indicators that someone might need to reevaluate their boundaries and some signs that they might need to be better about establishing boundaries?
Yeah. I call those warning signs, right? Right? So when your no is treated as a negotiation, and
Mm,
I've identified it kind of like a boundary hazard, right?
okay.
So I've noticed that there's exhaustion, you're tired, you can't make decisions concisely, you're always going back and forth, you can't make the decision because there's just too much going on, you've got a bunch of things in your head. There's a decline in productivity, so you can't do as much as you used to do before because now you've got all of these other things that are taking your time. You reduce satisfaction in what's coming back, right? You used to be that person, but now maybe you're not that person because you've got all of these things and everything is competing for your time. So when you notice those types of signs, that's you. And that was me. I was the go-to guy, right? And that made me feel good. And, overextending, overcommitment, going over and beyond because I always said yes, right? And so I set up a pattern, right, that I needed to reset, right? So with that, it's kind of like, okay, Daphne, what do we need to do differently because that's a little bit too much. So just like a project, I had to do self check-ins, right?
Mm,
So what am I doing that's causing me to be depleted emotionally all the time? Whenever I do this, I'm depleted. So I'm not coming as my best self, right? You
okay.
get me there because I said yes, even though I'm slowly regretting saying yes. But you get me there, but my head isn't in there. So you're not going to get the best quality from me. So when I'm looking at that, what matters? What is my assertive communication with you where I'm saying, you know, at this time we can't do this. And so I need to consistently always think about that because I'm now violating the boundaries that I said I wanted to do. So I need to reconsider that. And I was that person. I was that person that was always doing that. And so again, when we start thinking about, those cues, noticing that my scope was expanding, I needed to realign that because I needed to readjust it. Just like you do a project. If your scope is expanding, what are the things that you need to replace in the event that you're not going to make the project? It's going to be over budget and overrun. You're going
Hmm.
to, the people are going to be totally worn out and
Yeah.
there's no satisfaction for them. And that's why I said I needed to make the alignment between my professional and my personal life because some of the actions are still the same.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm hearing you there, and I heard that wearing it as a badge of honor that you always come through for people.
Yeah,
That really
overcommitment. Yeah,
yeah, overcommitment,
uh-huh.
overcommitment, because
Mhm.
I'm a overachieving introverted people pleaser. Like that's I've got
Yeah,
all those traits, and
that's right.
I work through it, but it's an ongoing thing. Like it's never completely 100% gone because
Hmm.
I think it's become so ingrained in me that I always have to be mindful and be intentional. And that's why a lot of the tools that you provided in the book really resonated with me because it gave something tangible that you can do to make sure you stay on track.
That's right. And
Yeah.
the thing about it, Jonathan, I and you and we invite that boundary erosion, right? You
Oh,
say, no, I'm not going to do that. Or I thank you for thinking of me for this. And however, I've got these initiatives that have to be done in Q4. So
okay.
let's figure out how we're going to adjust those, right? That's
Yeah.
easy, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to, oh my God, I can't do it because I've got this weekend, I've got this. Nobody cares, right?
Hmm.
Because you were that go-to person. But
Right.
if you determine how you're going to respond, then they'll be a little bit more respectful for that. So the boundary erosion that you say when you say no, but you're saying that it's negotiable and you're inviting someone to erode your boundaries. So it's not them sometimes. It's usually starts with us. It's just like, well, I'd like to, but I have dot, 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 right?
Yeah.
And there go like, well, it seems as though there's a door for me to jump in and possibly change her mind. And then that goes through that broken record technique it's talking about. It's just like, but and that you introduce, and we shouldn't do that. We're apologizing for our limits, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to not doing that.
Yeah. So
Mm.
what leads a person to be that way or to get themselves in that situation where they put the cape on, they're the person that people can always count on, they can always come through, and they probably even get positive feedback for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I can always count on you, Daphne,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
wait. That's right.
Always come through. You're all reliable. You're the person that everybody goes to. You're the go-to person.
Yeah.
Now it's a badge of honor.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
think
that's
it's the cultural norms, right?
yeah,
Society says that, superwoman, super person, superhuman, they're always there, and they make us feel that way. And we
yeah,
accept it. When you're growing up, when you're younger, if you're kind, generous, overbearing, overcommitted, overextended, you're the nice, generous person, and everybody's going to you. And we're taught to think that way. Women, of course, right? We're always the
yeah,
caregivers. We always have to take care of everything. We always have to expose and be there for everybody, our family, our
yeah,
friends, our work, and overextending ourselves because we think that we're supposed to do that
yeah.
because that
And
makes people
smile.
comfortable.
And smile while
And
you're doing
smile
it.
while we're doing it. That's right.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that, I say, clear no, and it's a clean no, because no is a sentence by itself, no period,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Versus a clear yes. So there's no apologies, there's no dissertations. I'm just saying yes or no. But we make ourselves feel as though we are super, right? We put on that cape, we have the S on our chest, everybody sees the S and they're like, they can do it, right? And they
Yeah.
always do.
Yeah.
And then we accept that because we don't want the fear of disappointment, because we don't want you to think that I'm not a team player.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my ball to the sandbox so we can play together.
Hmm.
I just keep
And
doing
now
it.
you're just mean.
Yeah, now
Like,
you're just mean.
what's wrong with you?
That's right. You always say that you're going to do this. So why are
Yeah.
you doing it now? And it's just like, and then the relationships start changing, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And then you feel that, oh my goodness, I let this person down. Or maybe I need to renegotiate my boundary again, come back and say, well, remember when I said maybe I can,
yeah.
right? And then that keeps putting you back in that same cycle of you accepting and thinking that your no's are negotiable.
So what are the fears that lead you to backtrack in those situations?
Well, because I have a fear that someone's going to look at me as different, right? You've
Hmm.
changed. You've always done that. Why are you doing it this way? Why can't we do it one more time? Just this one more time, right?
Yeah.
And you believe that. And you get kind of caught up in the whole, that's who I am.
Yeah.
I want to please. I want to be a people pleaser. And I start looking at my self-confidence for that because you're a people pleaser. And then I go back to the whole gender thing, but because women are people pleasers, right? We're supposed to do that. We're supposed to say yes all the time. And so I think that for me, it's trying to recognize the value that I bring as a person, which is causing you to come to me.
Hmm.
And then I accept that value because I have high regard for how I am with as a leader, how I am with my collaboration with my team, how I provide direction and guidance. But
Hmm.
I'm not as good as delegating some of those because I'll take it on,
Yeah.
right? And when I keep taking it on, it's like that ripple effect again, right? I'm
Yeah.
teaching my team, I'm teaching my people, I'm teaching people of what means the most to me. And if taking it on all the time means the most to me, people will mimic that type of behavior.
Yeah.
And I
And
keep
it
doing it.
And it's possible when you do that that everybody else is benefiting from what you bring to the table, but you.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So how do
Yeah.
they grow
How do
when
they
I'm
grow?
always exhausted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a fair point though, because you kind of have to recondition people to do things for themselves that you would normally do for them.
That's right. That's
Uh,
right.
yeah,
And I've
that
learned, like say for example, PTO, right?
uh-huh.
So we always say we're going to take PTO, and everybody says make sure that you take the time off, right?
Yes.
But what do? We bring our laptops, right? And we'll say,
Yeah.
okay, so Jonathan,
Ouch.
if you need anything, you know how to reach me. And we're so available. You've got your watch, you've got your phone, you've got your laptop, you've got, carrier pigeon, you got everything, right? And
Yeah.
then you say, okay, so now you're on vacation. Day one, you bring out your laptop, you got to check all your emails. You've already indicated that I'm unavailable, from this period of time. If you have anything urgent, make sure that you have who that urgent list is, right?
Yeah.
So it says, Jonathan, if you have an SLA that's urgent, that's going to be, business affecting and everything will go down, so call Jonathan. So me as a leader, I need to make sure that Jonathan is prepared to be able to take that on. Because if
Yes.
I haven't grown Jonathan, then I'm not being a good leader. So
There
call
you go.
him if there and kind of set those boundaries of what happens when, right? And then when people start accepting that, then you're conditioning them, and then it ends up being that ripple effect again, right?
Yeah.
So I find that, PTO, I was always famous for that. Oh, I'll only take a couple of hours. And then that half a day where your family is out, on going to the pool, the beach, hanging
Yeah.
out, you've already taken a half of your day where you're not participating,
Yes.
and so that PTO thing was always a bad thing for me because I always had my laptop and I was always engaged in something. I think sometimes there are some exceptions, but not all the time.
Yeah. Not all the time.
Not
It
all the time.
sometimes it's habit
Yeah,
and we almost feel uncomfortable if we don't check. I don't know if it's a control freak thing or what it is.
it
Uh,
is.
yeah. And we reframe PTO to mean prepare the others in turn.
I
So
love it.
yeah,
I
prepare the
love it.
others. So get other people ready to fill in for you so that you can be 100% unplugged.
That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And I think the being a leader means that you're showing others how to lead, right? So
Yes.
when you don't do that, you put yourself in a situation that you're the only person that people can come to, and
Yeah.
then those people don't grow. And you
Yeah.
just end up thinking that that's the best thing. I'm the best person for the job. I do it the best way. I
Yeah.
can't teach. I don't want to delegate. They're not going to do it like me. So you end up doing those types of things that put you in a situation that had you set your boundaries and done that, identified how you were going to say yes or no, then it would have been better for you.
Yeah. And I think that underneath that is that underlying fear that if you're not the go-to person, if you're not the person everybody comes to, that you're going to lose something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whether it's they find out they don't need you at work, and maybe you lose your job or you lose your level of respect or prestige or branding, personal branding, whatever you think you're going
Oh,
to
yeah.
lose there, right?
And your
And then
influence.
yeah,
Yeah.
your influence, and
Hmm.
then your personal life, it's relationships. Are they not gonna like me anymore? Am I gonna lose friends? Or am I
Hmm.
gonna damage my relationship with my family if
That's
I
right.
start to say no? And
And then they'll
we
be
yeah,
disappointed in me.
yeah, disappointed in me. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then that identity as the go-to person, um, I think we lean into that so much that we don't want to lose that identity sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's our value to the family.
Hmm.
But your family loves you beyond just being that
That's
person,
right.
but you've conditioned them to be that person, that you're that person already.
That's
So
right.
I think we find that if we give an opportunity to set the boundaries, eventually you find that you don't lose those relationships that mean the most to you. And if you
Exactly.
do, was that a healthy relationship? Is that one you needed to be in anyway?
Exactly.
If you'd like to see the full interview or more content from Crazy Dreams Inspired, please visit our page. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you there.